Hello BookTube, it's Paul here, and today I thought I would discuss a couple of things with you. The first thing I've got for you today is something that I read a couple of weeks ago, which is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Hopefully you can see the book here. It's yeah, I picked this up, I guess, just before Christmas when I was going down to Edinburgh. I wanted a couple of books that were quite short, easy to read, that I could complete on the bus journey down, which is about 4 hours. So it maybe wasn't the best of reasons for to pick a book up, but I'd read H.G. Wells before. I'd read The Invisible Man and quite enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect from The Time Machine really, but and I have to confess I was slightly indifferent to the idea of reading this, but when I did I was so glad that I'd read it because I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I really did. I think this was published in 1895. And that's a period of time that fascinates me in terms of, novels. I love reading material from around about that time. So yeah, what did I make of this? As I said, very enjoyable read. I was surprised at just how far into the future this book did go, because it went to the year 802,701, which is, I'm not sure I've ever read or watched a story around time travel that's gone quite that far into the future. But it was fascinating, and it was really thought-provoking. It really made you think how human beings may evolve, and that to me, that side of it was very interesting, because I guess, as the book suggests, it may be that, with technology developing the way it is, maybe the world is, human being survival in the world is less reliant on physical strength and power and that kind of thing, and a situation could be created whereby physically, we actually become weaker as opposed to stronger as evolution carries on. We have a situation where technology takes over the workload to such an extent that we actually begin to weaken as human beings, which is kind of one of the themes in this book, I guess. So yeah, it was thought-provoking that way, but a very enjoyable read. Really worthwhile, and it's given me a real appetite to read more of H.G. Wells. He's an excellent writer, and I like I don't know if the Invisible Man was also a book that was maybe around about the 100-page mark. I don't know how much of his work is this kind of length, but I kind of liked the length of the book. It was nice, easy read, easy to digest, enjoyable story. So yeah, well worth it. I'm definitely going to seek out more H.G. Wells. So that's that one. The next book that I've got to show you is another kind of project that I'm doing this year, because in the past I've read quite an amount of non-fiction, and I've read a fair amount of fiction as well, but not as much as the non-fiction side of things. So I really wanted to broaden my fiction horizons and become a bit more well read in the fiction world. And so this year I decided to really just take a trip through A to Z in fiction. Hopefully I'll be able to go through A to Z twice this year, although that's incredibly ambitious for me with the speed that I read at. Anyway, that said, I picked up for A this year, I picked up The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. Really nice cover to that book. I don't know anything about this novel, but I'm looking forward to reading it, and I think it's going to be a fascinating journey going through A to Z. What's going to turn out to be the best books, who knows, but yeah, not much to say on this at the moment, other than I'm really looking forward to reading it, and it's going to be an interesting one, I think. So, what authors are going to appear in my A to Z journey, who knows, but it's going to be interesting to find out. I'm really looking forward to doing that this year. So, the last thing that I want to talk about today is Under the Skin again. I recently posted a video on Under the Skin, which was a book that by Michel Faber that I really loved. And I walked into the library where I work yesterday, and on the display stand that they had, which was on a theme of books that had been made into movies, and there it was, Under the Skin, right there. So I had to get it out. I did have the idea that I would like to watch the movie of the book at some stage, but the opportunity presented itself and I just had to take it. So I watched this last night. Well, I watched half an hour of this last night and unfortunately had to switch off because I was so disappointed. And it's a shame because I was looking forward to watching this. I don't know where to start. It was just, I mean, it's got two billings here, a true masterpiece, it says, and Johansson is nothing short of iconic. Well, I'm not going to criticise Scarlett Johansson. She's a great actress in my opinion, but the movie itself was just, for me, a complete failure. And I'd just like to talk about why a little bit. First of all, and I hold my hand up to this being quite a selfish criticism, but the book was set in the Highlands of Scotland, north of Inverness, which is that's the area that I'm from. And the movie, they changed the location to Glasgow, the city of Glasgow in the south of Scotland. And that just was so disappointing to me for a start. The other thing, as I discussed in the video that I made about the book really made me care about the characters, you know. And for me that's essential in a book, or a movie for that matter. I need to care about the characters that are being portrayed. I didn't care at all about the characters in this movie. I think, in my opinion, as an example of storytelling, and for me storytelling is, you know, it draws you into the story, it keeps you hooked, it makes you care about the characters, it gives you the unexpected twists, and, you know, everything that to me is a story, everything that to me is what storytelling is, this was not, you know, for me personally, this was an example of abstract art. You know, it was a very artistically made film, I'll give it that. But art in the way that it's presented as a kind of a thought experiment, that's how it felt to me. You know, it's a little bit like, you know, you walk into a modern art gallery and, you know, you could have something quite obscure that is just placed there as kind of a thought experiment. But to me, what I want from art is to be amazed at the skill of the artist, to look at a painting and be unbelievably impressed by the detail and the skill of the painting, of the artwork. I don't really want to be presented with a thought experiment. You know, it's just not my idea of enjoyable art. And so yeah, maybe it's an unfair comparison, that, but you know, I'm afraid it just didn't work for me. And maybe I'm being a little bit unfair because I only watched the first half an hour, but I just couldn't watch any more. I mean, this obviously is a brilliant film for a lot of people. It's being described here as a true masterpiece. It depends what you want from a movie, right? We've all got different ideas, but like I've been saying, for me, the story has to be king. That has to be A1. I need to be drawn into the story and to care about the characters. And they changed so many details from what was in the book that I just couldn't cope with it. So, unfortunately, that's my take on the movie. But if you've seen the movie and you haven't read the book, then I highly recommend the book, because in my own personal opinion, the book's like 1,000 times better than the movie. But maybe I'm just ignorant of art, I don't know. But anyway, that is Under the Skin, the movie. So that's kind of all I've got to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as usual, feel free to get in touch, and I hope wherever you are, things are going well, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now and take care.